great big juicy steak with mushroom sauce, strawberry with the whipped cream mixed down in the bottom of it, a cup of coffee, and a big black cigar. Any nuts? You would want nuts. Certainly you're going to have nuts, and you're going to...
Oh, good evening, Mr. Hardy.
Good evening, Mrs. Kennedy. This is my friend, Mrs. Kennedy.
Good evening.
I brought him home for dinner, Mrs. Kennedy.
Oh, how lovely of you, Mr. Hardy.
How is Mr. Kennedy, Mrs. Kennedy?
Oh, he's very well, thank you, Mr. Hardy.
Is Mr. Kennedy home, Mrs. Kennedy?
Not yet, Mr. Hardy. I must be going. Good night, Mr. Hardy.
Good night, Mrs. Kennedy. That was Mrs. Kennedy. Well, what's the matter?
I was wondering who it was.
You just wait till you meet Mrs. Hardy. She's a great scout. And won't she be surprised to meet you?
She will be surprised, won't she?
Now, don't make a sound. And tiptoe in and surprise her. Come on.
What do you mean, yoo-hoo?
Are we in the right apartment?
Oh, sure. She's a great scout. You gotta know her to understand her. Honey, I've got a nice surprise for you. You've heard me speak about Stan, haven't you?
Yes.
That's him.
Well, what about it?
Well, we were down playing a little game of pool this afternoon, and he got hungry. And I told him about those big steaks that you cooked, and the strawberry souffle with the whipped cream beat up in it, and that good coffee you made, and some nuts. Oh, I forgot to tell you. He likes nuts.
Oh, he does. Well, isn't that lovely?
And I told him if he'd come up, you'd be glad to fix something.
Oh, you did. Well, get a note of this, big boy. I'm sick and tired of cooking for you and all the bums that you happen to bring up here for dinner. And I'm not going to do it any longer. If you think for a moment that all I'm going to do is stay in that kitchen, sleep over that hot stove, I don't care what I told you. I'm telling you now that I'm not going to do it anymore. This is my birthday.
This boy's a friend of mine. I've known him for 5 years.
I don't care if you've known him for 105 years. I'm not going to cook. And you're not going to make a slave out of me for all the bums that you have to bring up here for dinner. You're not trying. No, you've done it. You earn the money and I do the cooking. That's all I do. And besides that, what else do I do? All you do is play food. And all you keep out of this. Oh, I'm not trying anything. I'm just telling you something. That I'm not going to do it anymore. Now, all shut up. Gosh, I can't get a word in edgeways with you two. Now, I've listened to you. You listen to me. I'm simply sick and tired. I'm not going to stand it any longer. My mother told me that you'd make a slave out of me and keep me in this house till morning, noon, tonight. And I'm not too sick and tired of it. And I'm not going to do it anymore. If you think for 1 minute that I'm going to go in that kitchen and cook for you, I'm not. I'm simply not going to do it. Might just as well. Might as well. No, it's not, because I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to... What do you mean by saying this when I'm trying to talk to you? You big brute. Now, I'm going home to my mother, that's all. I'm just sick and tired of it, and I'm not going to stand any longer. Do you hear me? I'm going home to my mother. That's what she is. She told me what you do. She told me you were no good. Said you were absolutely no good. And this time, let me tell you something. I'm through. You get me through, and I'm going to stay put. Oh, and it's like nuts. Why, you look like a peanut.
Well, I guess we don't eat.
Oh, yes, we do eat. I'll cook you a meal like you've never eaten. Anthony won't cook my meals for me. One thing about me, I'm absolutely independent. I was surprised. I have cooked before. Why don't you do something to help me? What can I do? That's the table. That's simple. You don't have to use any brains for that. Go in the kitchen and light the oven. And take your feet up. And take your hat off. Now go in and light the oven. Thank you. Got a match? Yes, I'll light it. You fix the table. Why don't you be careful? You might have blown the whole house up. You know there's a right and wrong way to do everything.
Wait a minute now. I didn't make anything.
I'm sorry I brought you here. You've done nothing.
Why, what in the world ever happened, Mr. Hardy?
Well, I was cooking dinner for my friend and I, and we had a slight accident.
Oh, you poor dear boy. Maybe there's something I could do to help you.
Well, that's awfully sweet of you, Mrs. Kennedy.
Why, it would be a pleasure, Mr. Hardy.
You sure I'm not imposing, Mrs. Kennedy?
Oh, not at all, Mr. Hardy.
Thank you, Mrs. Kennedy.
Was that Mrs. Kennedy?
Oh, shut up. I'm awful sorry that happened, Mrs. Kennedy.
Oh, that's all right, Mr. Hardy. Accidents will happen.
You're right, Mrs. Kennedy.
It won't take me but a minute to put on another dress, Mr. Hardy.
You sure I can't help you, Mrs. Kennedy?
Oh, no, thank you, Mr. Hardy. If he sees me here like this, he'll kill all of us. What'll I do?
You? Why, you tell him the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Absolutely. What? Oh, my wife. What do we do? Tell her the truth. Oh, shut up. Get right in. I don't know where to go. Hey, go, let's go. Oh, in the truck. No, not you. Get up. Now keep your head down. What do you mean, put them?
Oh, don't be cross. I'm sorry for what happened, and I'll fix Dan a nice dinner. And look, I brought in some nuts.
No, Barbara. We are through.
Oh, well, what do you mean?
I mean that you've broken the camel's back once too often. My trunk is packed, and I'm leaving for South America tonight to do big things.
Oh, but Oliver.
And I'm burning my bridges behind me.
Oh.
Burning your what?
Burning my bridges.
Oh, I thought you said bridges.
Oh, but Oliver, why are you leaving me?
Because my friend advised me to go. Come, Stan.
Oh. Just a minute. You wolf in sheep's clothing. It's men about town like you that cause all the trouble between man and wife. What do you mean by taking this poor little innocent to South America and advising him to burn his bridges when he never even started a fire in his life? I'm talking to you. Come on, answer me. What do you mean? Well, come on, what do you mean? Can't you answer? Oh, you threatened me, would you? Oh, you would.
That boy wasn't going to hit you.
You threatened me.
He wasn't going to hit you. I never wanted to do it with you. Wait a minute. Hey, what's going on here?
Oh, Mr. LeBron, he's breaking up my happy home. He's taking my Oliver to South America. And I'm upset for you. I just won't die.
So you're the little homebreaker, are you? Hey, I want to tell you something. Hey, this goes for you too, big boy. If any guy ever tried to break up my home, I'd cut his throat.
Well, I think I'll have to be going.
Hey, wait a minute. Put that down. Oh, there's a woman in the case, huh? Mrs. Hardy.
No.
Stop that crying. Stop that crying. Now, I'm going to take the boys outside and give them a good talking to. You go out in the kitchen and fix them up a nice little supper. I'll have them back here in 5 minutes for you.
No. Oh, thank you so much, Mr. Kennedy.
That's perfectly all right, Mrs. Hardy. Here. You bozos, take this trunk and put it over in my apartment.
Let's get out of here.
Making whoopee, huh? Say, it's a great thing for you fellas that my wife isn't home. Say, listen now. If you fellas are gonna take chances, you gotta be more careful. The big thing is, just as far away from your wife as you can. You fellas should go out on my beat with me some night to thoroughly appreciate my technique. Now, come on, we'll go over to the wife. And I'll take and let that truck out of the trunk, and nobody will be any the wiser. Come on, you know, we married men, we gotta stick together. Well, here they are, Mrs. Hardy. I brought them back just like I promised.
Oh, I'll never forget you, Mr. Kennedy.
Oh, that's perfectly all right, Mrs. Hardy. And listen, anytime you want peace, quiet, just give me a call.
Now we're going to celebrate. And I fixed your favorite dish for you. Oliver, you sit here. And Stan, you sit over there.
Come to Papa.
Now, Stan, you serve the spaghetti while it's good and hot. And I'll pour the coffee, because Oliver loves his coffee with his dinner. Oh, Oliver, don't do that. You know, accidents will happen.
I know that.
Your dicky bird is waiting. Oh.
So, little dicky bird is waiting.
Well, you don't understand it, dear.
I'm a clock, am I? Well, listen. You get a bit of my technique, dearie. Now, Oliver, you sit right down. That doesn't concern you in the least.
Excuse me. Quit your crying. Close your eyes. Shut up!
Good night, Mr. Hardy.